What's up everyone, Michael here with another vlog slash channel update thingy. I do these every once in a while and I've been away for a while. This is actually my first video of 2018, so happy new year everyone. I'll explain why I've been gone, but I actually want to talk about, plans for the future, and I also want to talk about YouTube's partnership changes. If you're just here clicking on this video because you've seen my reviews and you're just like, I don't care about his vlog stuff, don't worry, I actually do more in-depth topic stuff and talk about like the industry and stuff while I'm doing that. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is YouTube's partnership changes and how they affect me and other creators around me and people like me, and so on and so forth. So that might be an interesting listen to. And then after that, you can click out if you don't want to listen to it. But basically, I want to go over my future ideas for what I'm going to be doing with the channel, such as Twitch and Patreon integration stuff. Don't worry, I'm not going to lock videos behind paywalls or anything because that would be dumb. And I also want to talk about some of my other types of content that I'm going to be trying to integrate all into one and try to make something like Discord or Patreon my central location for like blogging and stuff like that. Because I do other stuff too. I make hacks for games and I also do a bunch of modding and stuff. So I kind of want to integrate all that stuff. And I'm just sitting here playing Phantasy Star Universe, skipping all the cutscenes because I just did a resolution hack for it, speaking of other content. And so I'm kind of messing around with it and seeing if it's working properly. This is the Japanese version of the game. And so basically I couldn't get my English copy working because it has Game Guard, and the Game Guard servers don't work for this game anymore, so I can't literally play it, and I don't remember how I cracked it before. And so I'm like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna install the Japanese version, which was patched and it was distributed for free a long time ago, so it's not piracy or anything like that. So hopefully it's not. If it is, I apologize. I'd pay for the game if it was purchasable and playable, but yeah, there we go. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about it. So the YouTube partnership changes. Basically, YouTube decided to change the requirements for becoming a partner, which a lot of people have been focusing on the monetization, and YouTube specifically itself has also been talking about monetization because they don't necessarily want everyone looking at the major negatives to these points, because being a YouTube partner also enables you to use a lot of different YouTube features, such as scheduling of videos, using end screens and annotations, although they killed off annotations, which I'm still extremely pissed about, and I think it's stupid, and end cards are just awful, but they have the little cards and things that you can pop up. You have to be a partner to do that. You have to be a partner to have associate links, yada yada. There's a bunch of stuff that's tied to it, especially analytics itself, which I have used a ton to improve my search rankings and everything. So not having that stuff is kind of sucky. Like, if you don't have all of those features, the chances of your success is going to be very waning. You're going to have to rely a lot more on luck, and you're not going to have the analytics to look at and be like, all right, what's working, what isn't, what's my audience like, what type of stuff can I link in my videos, for example. Like, I wouldn't be able to link to my website and stuff like that if I wasn't a partner, which would be super annoying. But basically, the new partnership requirements is that you need at least 1,000 subscribers. Not too bad. I'm not quite there, but yeah. Oh, there's a dead person. It's too late. Okay, they're dead. You need 1,000 subscribers at least and 4,000 hours of watch time over the last 12 months. Now, the 1,000 subscribers thing makes sense. I'm not quite there, and there's a lot of small YouTubers who are like, I'm not at 1,000 yet. And the thing is, if you're under 1,000 subscribers, you're not making a lot of money anyways. Myself, who crushes that watch time, by the way, I think I had 288,000 minutes or something like that. Yeah, I think it was 288,000 minutes, which is still above it. Not by much, but it's still above it by, 8,000 minutes if I'm doing my math in my head correctly. And so I still crush that metric, but at the same time, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. And over this last year in 2017, I only made $50 the entire year. I'm sorry, but I go to a day job and I make that much in a single day very, very easily. And the amount of time that I put into YouTube is nothing in comparison to how much money I'm making. Like, it is just ridiculous amounts of time for very little return. So I'm not really worried about it. And so if I was worried about the returns, I would want like a higher number anyways, and I would actually want some good returns. The negative is it's not an and or situation. It's not a you have 1,000 subscribers to your partner or you have 5,000 hours of watch time. It is you have to have both. This means that animation channels are getting screwed over even more, although animation channels have already been dead on YouTube for years. I can't remember the last time like animators were happy with YouTube. That's not been a thing for a very long time because they basically want people to be watching YouTube for very long periods of time, and so that's what they're focusing on. And so basically any existing channel is going to get that basically taken away if they're not getting that 4,000 hours of watch time, which there's plenty of channels that have a lot of subscribers and a lot of fan interactivity. They're doing fairly well. They only barely reach that minimum requirement, which is actually kind of scary. There's channels with like 200,000 subscribers and they're barely hitting that limit. And some people are being like, oh, well, maybe they baited those subscribers. But the reality is there's a lot of channels out there that make niche content and they don't already do this for a living. Making a living off of YouTube specifically doing niche content isn't a thing that happens. You have to do something like Patreon, and that's pretty much where people like me are going to end up trying to go from this point on. I'm not looking to make a living off of this yet. I want to in the future. That's definitely where I want to go. Finally, we get some gameplay, so I get to shoot things. Yes! Seems like the resolution hack's actually working perfectly fine. It was actually way easier to make than I thought it was. I tried to go widescreen, but it completely screwed up the UI. I do notice that the minimap is broken, and I haven't figured out how to fix that on the other version of this game either, and so I think that's just a thing. And I just tried to charge shot because I've been playing the portable version of this game for a while. That's gonna suck. So I'm not gonna be playing particularly well in the background. I apologize for that. But yeah, so how do these changes affect me personally? Personally, they don't really change me much because YouTube announced that these changes will only apply to channels that are going into becoming a partner, and those who are already partners will not lose anything but monetization. So basically, I will be able to keep my end screens, my annotation stuff, and I'll be able to keep my associate link and stuff like that. So basically any of those features I was talking about, like analytics, those are perfectly fine. So if you've already been confirmed as a partner before, you were going to keep those features, or at least that's what YouTube has said. They haven't rolled out the like they changed the requirements, but they haven't rolled out. They gave us 30 days, and that was about like 20 days ago. And so it's going to happen soon, so I'll find out. But supposedly we're going to be keeping all those features. So I'll still keep my scheduling, and I'll still be able to keep my analytics, which are two very key components to my strategy on YouTube, which some people will say like, oh, you're not doing particularly great. And I get that. But at the same time, you know, it's important to me, especially being able to schedule, because my schedule is so strange that I want to be able to set it up so that I can be like, oh, I want this video to go up at this time so that other people who don't have a bizarre schedule can actually watch it in a period of time that makes sense. And so there you go. And that's kind of nice. So basically, it doesn't really affect me because I'm not looking to make money. It is nice to get those returns. I mean, $50, that's like a free game or something like that. Not free, but it's a game over an entire year. So it's not great, but at the same time, by the time I'm making enough money to where I'll actually care is when I'll be above that threshold anyways. I don't think I'll ever have a problem with the watch time just because I make long form videos already. Now, the negative side of this, and the people that it really does affect, is the people that are not already partnered with YouTube, because basically they're going to have a really, really steep hill to climb before they actually get any of these partner features. Some different sorts of channels. I'm trying to remember how to go into first person. I don't remember. There we go. How do I use goggles now? I don't remember. I think I have to use them on my palette. Oh, well, we don't have them yet, I don't think. Actually, never mind. Ugh, getting ahead of myself, because I'm just trying to play through the tutorial, and it's telling me how to move. I got to use Q, which... okay. Didn't work. It brought me into first person. Actually, the keyboard controls work as well. Wow. Nice. I didn't know that. Anyways, so yeah, basically people who are not partnered are going to be, you know, completely screwed over by this. YouTube is essentially closing the door to brand new YouTubers. And if anybody wants to go into YouTube trying to do things like niche reviews like I do or something like along those lines, they're going to have a really hard time reaching that threshold. And they're going to have, you know, a very decent schedule on trying to set up videos. They're going to have other routes of trying to find analytics and trying to figure out what their audience is doing. And it's not like it's impossible. I think it's perfectly possible. There's plenty of channels that have made it without partnership program stuff. It's just going to be more difficult. There's also a lot of rumors where I haven't seen any evidence of this, but it is possible that partners also get lower search rankings. I don't think that's true, but at the same time, we're currently in a period of time where everyone on YouTube is pretty much partnered if they're trying. So any channel that you see out there with like high quality content is most likely going to be partnered, such as myself. You know, I've been partnered before I was even at 100 subscribers when that was a requirement way back when. And so, yeah, it's been a while. Like I signed up for a Google business and everything back in 2010, I think, or 2011, somewhere around there. It was like as I was graduating high school. And so, yeah, it's been a while. And so I was able to jump on the train pretty early, although I didn't start making videos for a lot longer than that. But yeah, it's going to screw over those channels. And there's a few people that I am kind of associated with that are also going to be not able to go in and get all those analytics and stuff. And that's going to suck mostly because having that lower requirement or having that higher requirement is going to make it so that those lower channels are not going to be able to reach that. And it makes it so that the quit rate is going to be incredibly high. And it already is. A lot of people, like I've known in the past, have just given up on YouTube altogether because it's just so hard to make it. And so that kind of sucks. And my worry is that in the future, they're going to keep increasing it until YouTube becomes a heavily curated platform for high quality content. And then you're just going to have the everyman Joe kind of content. And they're going to end up starting dividing that content. And they've already started to do that with like the trending tab and stuff like that. I wanted to do a whole in-depth video on it for a while, and I probably still will. I just need to do a little bit more scripting for it. But yeah, so that'll be coming in the future, and I'll talk more about that. But that's basically who it affects. It doesn't really affect people like me. It doesn't affect the bigger channels. YouTube does say that these changes are going to help with monetization and stuff. That guy's missing a tooth, and that guy's a dog. And so basically, you know, they're saying like, oh, this is going to help us with our monetization problems. The reality is, I don't think it's related to monetization whatsoever. I think this is an enactment to kind of get rid of a lot of these smaller monetized channels that they've had problems with in the past, not related to the whole adpocalypse thing that's recently happened. I think that they're just trying to use that as kind of a getaway card. And I mean, that makes sense. And it probably will somewhat help with that, because advertisers will be like, oh, hey, look, they're actually having some curation in their program, which would be nice because I think other platforms kind of get that perk. But at the same time, you know, it's definitely something that's been in the works for a while. They made the 10,000 view requirement a long time ago, and I think that was almost like a year ago now. It was quite a while ago. And once again, I had the same sort of thought on that. I don't really care. It's not going to be enough money to really matter. It kind of sucks that they're not going to get a return on those first 10,000 views, but it was like, I think it was $6 or something like that I got off my first 10,000, and that was like a really high monetization rate as well. And so, yeah, and that was also when ads were worth more. Ads are worth less these days. Getting it on YouTube is getting more and more difficult. So, yeah. Anyways, if you're not here for the vlog sort of stuff, you were just here for the topic stuff, there you go. You can click off now, because now I'm going to go into where I was over the last few weeks, and then my future plans for the channel, integration for Twitch and Patreon and such. So basically, over the last 3 or so weeks, actually, it's only almost been an entire month now. Jesus Christ. I've had the apartment for a week now, though. So basically, I moved out of my apartment, and I thought it was going to be a lot easier to kind of get a new place, and that was evidently not true. And so basically, I was homeless, aka sort of with family, for like 3 weeks, and so I didn't actually have a place. Don't worry, I had a roof over my head, I had food and everything. Like, I had money. It wasn't like I had no money, but I had to find a place that would approve me for an apartment. And so I finally got into a new place, and this place isn't bad, actually. I kind of like it. It's a nice little studio apartment and everything. It's perfect for right now. And so, yeah, I'll be here for at least a year. And yeah, that's basically where I was. Nothing major happened. It kind of sucks. I thought that the Omega Quintet video was going to be my last video that I was going to be able to release for a while. And if you haven't watched that, go ahead and check it out. I am working on a review for it at some point. It's going to take me a while because I have other videos planned in the works. And I'll talk about those in a minute. But yeah, at the end of that video, I said I had some life stuff to sort out, and that's basically what I was talking about. I was sick at the end of December. Basically, I was knocked out for like 2 weeks straight in December, and then I had like a week and a half until I was moving. And so I made that Omega Quintet video, and then I think like 2 days later, I finally got to recording my top 5 video for 2017, which if you haven't checked out, you should end up checking that out as well, because the best video I've ever done, in my opinion, so far. It's very well done, I think. I don't know. I'm looking for feedback on it as well. I know it's not perfect, but at the same time, it's one of my best videos, so I'm really happy with that. And so I was extremely happy that I was able to record that one. I was going to do another top 5 video for returning games of 2017, to where it was like games I came back to because they updated or something happened to it. And so I was like, oh, hey, that would be a really interesting video, and I just never got around to doing it. I actually did recordings inside that video, kind of point directing to it, but I was very smart in the way that I said it, and so I was like, you know, making sure that I had spaces that I could edit it out. I was like, all right, now I'll just talk about it, and if I don't end up doing that video, I'll just cut it out. And so I ended up having to do that, which was very unfortunate. But yeah, that video ended up turning out really well, and the time away was actually kind of nice. It just kind of sucks that YouTube changed their partnership program stuff, and there were some other things that ended up happening to where basically I was like, you know, I was very stressed out and kind of panicking about a lot of things, and I thought everything was just going to die. But thankfully, my YouTube channel isn't dead. I'm still actually getting a lot of searches. My view time went down because obviously I'm releasing less videos, which means that less people are watching. But a lot of my videos have been doing particularly well, which is actually super, super nice. So thank you for everyone that's been watching and stuff. And I know people don't normally click on my vlog videos, but thank you for clicking on this one as well. Like, it's really, really cool to see people actually checking out the stuff that I make. And that's why I make it in the first place, is so that people can watch it. And if nobody's watching it, what's the point at that point? I mean, I've gotten to a point now to where I need feedback and constant, you know, notifications of like how I'm doing to be able to increase my ability. I guess you could say, wow, I'm starting to stutter now. This video is almost 15 minutes long, and that's where I'm kind of starting to cut out. So yeah, future plans for Twitch and Patreon integration. Basically, I'll go real quick over this. So Twitch introduced a feature called Premiere, where basically, which way do I go first? I'm gonna go the other way first, just to be a rebel. They released a feature called Premiere, where basically they're replacing uploads to where you upload it and then you have to premiere it, which is kind of strange. And so basically it goes up and then you set the video to go live and then it live streams it and then it's a VOD. It's very strange and bizarre, and I kind of like it, but at the same time, it kind of sucks that it won't just be like an alternate YouTube thing to where I just upload and there you go, you have my backlog. And so I actually want to integrate this, however, I want to take advantage of it and integrate it into my long-term plan, because I do want to get into live streaming whenever I possibly can. Obviously, my schedule is all over the place, so I can't really stream consistently, which is why I haven't really been doing it. But this actually gives me an opportunity, because what I can do is I can have a normal streaming time, and if I'm available to stream that day, I just stream. If not, then I have a video that goes live, and it streams that video instead. And so I can still be live at a certain point, and I won't always be in the chat. I'm going to try. The problem is my schedule, because I work at a restaurant currently, and so basically I'm in the nighttime schedule, which is kind of hard for streaming in a lot of places, and so I'm going to try it and just see how it goes. I might end up quitting it out. I don't know. We'll see how long it goes. It depends on how much it adds to my sort of setup, because basically it already takes a long time to kind of set up videos and, you know, upload and set up everything. So that's just another upload and another schedule to kind of keep track of. And so I might not stick to it, but at the same time I want to try it, because, you know, re-uploading to Twitch is something that I've been trying to do over a long period of time. It just takes so long to upload to Twitch. Like, I think one of my videos takes like 6 hours. It's ridiculous for uploading to Twitch. And so basically trying to set that up and then schedule it takes a long time. So I'll have to actually, you know, keep my ball on the point to actually get things uploaded properly. But the plan is basically, if there is no video for that day and I'm available to live stream, I will live stream. If there is a video available that day and I can't live stream, I will basically play the video that released that day. So it'll basically be like the video releases on YouTube in the morning, and then it'll replay on Twitch live. And so you can go in there, interact with the chat and stuff like that, and I will try to be there. You'll be able to check the viewers whenever it ends up going up, and you can actually see if I'm in there or not. And if you want to ask me questions, you can always do that. You can also ask me questions on the Discord that we have. I'll shill it in a second. But yeah, and then if there isn't any video or I'm not live streaming, I'll just upload an old video, and I'll have a timestamp, or rather a date. If it is older than like a month old or something like that, I'll have a date before it, so you'll know it's an older video or whatever. And I'll be like, oh, this is when the video originally released. If you want to watch it with other people, there you go. My Twitch is super inactive, and so I don't think it'll get anybody really checking it out for a long time. But yeah, I did talk about Discord. This is one of my integration plans as well. We do have a Discord community called The Broken Chat Box. If you've been following the channel long enough, you know that that was a podcast that we used to run, and it was originally created for that podcast, and then the podcast fell apart and everyone left. And so basically now it's just a gaming community. So there's quite a few of us in there. It's not particularly amazingly active, but we are growing it over time. Evan the Tank, who you might remember from some of my other videos if you follow us really closely, he's in there doing a lot of League of Legends stuff. And so yeah, so basically if you want League of Legends news, he's got that down. And if you want other types of gaming news, I'm trying to keep a ball on it, but really it's just a gaming community, and I'm in the chat all the time, and we have friends that jump in there every once in a while, and we're always trying to get people to jump in and play with us. So yeah, if you want to end up joining us open, then yeah, because it is open mic and everything, you just jump into the chat and you can talk to whoever you want. There is a streaming mic, by the way, and this is going to get into some of the Patreon stuff. Basically, I will have a locked streaming chat that is also in that Discord, so you can see like when I'm streaming and stuff like that. But I am running a policy that's going to be open mic. And so basically, I have a curated group of people that is able to join my stream whenever they want. And if you want to get into that, just hang out in the group and make sure that I know that you're not an asshole or something like that. Like that's basically my requirement, is like, don't be a jerk or anything like that. So if you're active in the chat and stuff, and you jump in the voice when we're in it, then yeah, you can end up getting into the curated list. Another way is to, you know, subscribe to Patreon. So basically we have a tier system, and if you subscribe on Patreon or send us some money on Patreon, just pledge like $1 or something like that, you can end up jumping into the chat whenever you want. And so yeah, so if we're ever streaming and we have the streaming mic open, then you can end up joining it just like all the curated people. And we do that for curation purposes. It's not to like monetize it or anything, but it is to kind of make sure that we just don't have random people, because we did have this big discussion talking about, you know, just random people jumping in, which could be a problem in the future, especially if we end up getting popular, because I know Evan the Tank likes to stream a lot. He's normally not in the locked chat, so if you want to join his stream, it's not particularly high quality. Sorry, Evan. But yeah, so basically he's not normally in the locked chat, but I will be in the locked chat if I am streaming. So there you go. So if you want to join in that, you can. But you just either got to get on the curated list. You can always ask me personally on there. But yeah, I would very much anticipate that people end up joining into that Discord, because it is a fun little community and we have really fun chats every once in a while. We also have a Not Safe for Work channel station thing if you want to interact with that. Stanich's in that a lot, which for some reason, I don't know, he has way too much fun posting stuff. So that's why it's there. It's just there to be there. So if you enjoy that type of stuff, there it is. It also has some links to my other types of stuff. So if you want notifications through Discord, I also post when new videos go live, or at least I try to. It doesn't have an automated system yet. I haven't built the bot. But yeah, there you go. So there's the Discord system. When it comes to Patreon, I'm going to be starting to use Patreon a little bit more. I'll be shilling it at the end of videos from now on. And I don't do this to like try and make money, but I'm going to be using it as a centralized hub, as sort of like a blog. I've had a blog in the past. Like a long time ago, I had a blog that was like a creative blog. It's like, this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm doing, and yada yada. And I really fell out of tune with it. And I think I'm going to go on and use Patreon for that. And that's going to be the idea of kind of moving in everything to one platform, making it so that if you want to know what's going on with my channel and stuff like that, instead of doing these periodic channel updates, which are very out of date by the time people normally watch them, because I change stuff on a weekly basis, quite frankly. Like in a week from now, I could be like, oh, that Twitch thing isn't working out, and change the plan completely. And so if you want to keep up to date, just follow me on Patreon. I'll have a link in the description as well. I do create some not safe for work content, such as Skyrim mods and things. And so if you're into that, for one, check it out. And number two, that does mean that it is not available in searches. So if you go ahead and search on Patreon, you will not find me. You have to manually get a link, which is available on my videos in the description. And it is available on our Discord channel. So there you go. I also have a link to the Discord as well in the description below. And for videos that are coming out in the future, basically all the series that are currently running are pretty much going to stay there. There was one series that I was going to get rid of, and I can't remember the name of it because I canned it so long ago. It was like basically I did one video on it and then I just didn't. Frick, what was it called? I don't know. I did it for Sonic. I can't even remember the name of the series. Yeah, but impressions reviews are staying. They're going to be, you know, the periodic ways they are, about once a month or something like that. Maybe more every once in a while because I'll be able to get them done. But they take so long to produce because, you know, playing through an entire game takes a long time, as you could imagine, especially when I'm doing so many other things. And then basically I'll be doing more Let's Plays. I'm trying to get more into collaborations for stuff that's normally going to happen. And so I'm trying to do that again. I'm not joining any groups this time. Like, screw groups. I'm done with that. It's completely done. I've made a video in the past talking about why, and I'm just done dealing with large groups of people. I'm done with that. And so basically I'll just be on my own, and every once in a while I'll have a small friends group that will do videos together every once in a while. Me and Evan the Tank are planning on going through Doki Doki Literature Club, so if you're into that, that's a thing we're going to try out and see how well that works. I'm excited for it because I played through most of that game, but I never finished it, and so I'm actually excited to see where it goes from the point I'm at, because that's a good VN, I will say. There's a reason it's popular on YouTube. So yeah, that's actually really cool. He hasn't seen anything from it. He's seen the store page and that's it. And so I'm really excited to show him that game as well. And so yeah, there was a series I did run on another channel called the Classic Cast, and basically I was running a series called Show and Play, I believe is what we called it. Yeah, so basically I'm going to be bringing that back as well. I'm going to be getting people on, and we're going to be like showing each other really interesting games and some really interesting ideas. And it won't always be gameplay or Let's Play stuff, but I think that's a really cool platform, and I kind of want to go back into that. And I want to talk my sister into doing that because she really enjoyed doing that when I was showing her games before. So I think that we could end up recording that sort of stuff, and I think it would be really, really interesting and cool, because it's really cool to see what people that are not in the gaming space think of games that are inside the gaming space, especially games that are super niche. So yeah, like I showed her Renegade Ops, and she freaking loved it. It was really, really fun and crazy. And so I think that that type of stuff could be really, really cool. Hey, there we go. How to use goggles. Sweet. I'm going to skip the tutorial because I'm a smart man. And yeah, another series that's coming along is I'm going to get into hacking and tutorial style videos. I'm still not 100% sure on how the platform's going to work for it. How do I use goggles? Oh god, there we go. Yeah! You do have to use the palette. I'm pretty sure there's a way to use it not on the palette, but I'm not going to bother with it right now. So yeah, I'm going to get into hacking style videos and stuff like that, like tutorials on how to basically make simple hacks and simple mods, things like, you know, setting up emulators and things, like just technical stuff that there's not a lot of tutorials for. I've been looking around for different types of tutorials, and I've noticed for a lot of the advanced stuff, it's really, really hard to find stuff. And even the simple stuff, like there was stuff that I already knew how to do, and I was finding tutorials for that, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a nice refresher and stuff. And then you end up looking at it and you're like, oh wow, like there's this and this and this, and they just don't explain it well. And so I want to go back and kind of go through these sort of things and explain every single little aspect. Like let's say a resolution hack, for example, like what I did with Phantasy Star Universe. I simply looked for the hex values of the hard-coded resolution values and found them inside the executable using a hex editor basically, and I was like, oh hey, let's just change this to the appropriate hex, and boom, it works, you know, that sort of thing. There's certain things that are broken like the minimap and stuff, but I would talk about how you would find those values and how you would fix them and how to use memory managers and things and how to use code injection, yada yada, so that sort of stuff. And I think that would be really cool, kind of like how I did with the what was it called, Dolphin. Wow, my brain is just so skippy all of a sudden. Oh wait, I already went this way. I think I need to go the other way? Yes, I really should have read the dialogue real quick just to remember what I was doing. Nope, not that way. I think I was supposed to save people. Whatever, we're at the end of the video anyways. But yeah, so like how I was talking about how to set up Dolphin for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for multiplayer and stuff like that, which I still haven't gotten that to work perfectly yet. I think basically one of the two things needs to happen. Either, what button is it? I know it's a button to like use the goggles without equipping them, but apparently not. Ah, that's frustrating. Whatever, I'll just run around with the goggles. But yeah, I think either MG, or it's not MGBA, that's the other one. Whoops, god damn it, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Oh, help Lumia. Okay, I've got it. But yeah, it's either VGBA or something like that. Yeah, I think it's VGBA is what I was using. I can't even remember what I was using. I'm terrible with names, by the way, if you haven't remembered. Or Dolphin needs to get like some major advancements in that sort of category, and so yeah, once that happens, I think I'll be able to make a new video on that and make sure it like works perfectly, because right now there's the control bug I was talking about, which doesn't happen for everyone, and some people are even having problems getting to that point, and so yeah, that kind of sucks. So not everything I make tutorials on will work perfectly, just to throw that out there, but yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun, so that'll be coming out soon. There we go. The goggles have been used, and then I just break it. Yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this one, and if you like my types of content, you can subscribe or pledge on the Patreon. This is the first video I've had to do that, and it's so weird. Also, Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2018, which is kind of weird because it's January 28th or January 29th when this video goes out. And so it's been a while. I apologize. So hopefully this year ends up going really, really well. My kind of goal is to make sure that I can end up getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark, which I don't think will be impossible. Seeing how much I advanced over the last year, I think that I can actually make it quite well. And this is a longer video than I was intending, and I'm sorry for that. It's mostly because I kind of combined two videos. I was going to do a topic video on the whole YouTube problem. Wait, I'm supposed to be using the goggles. Crap, there might be dead people under here now. But yeah, so I was going to do an entire topic video, but I wasn't in a place to where I could record at the moment, and so I just kind of combined it with this video. So that's why this one's a little bit like 2 times as long as the normal video. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I've got to find dead people. I see dead people.